How's it going, everybody? AZPlow21 back again with another episode here on our UFC Save in WMMA 5. And here today we have IAQUINTA versus GILLESPIE. Now, this is a very important fight card, actually. Has very important implications in the lightweight division. IAQUINTA, as you can see here, number 2 lightweight in the UFC, coming off wins over Hernandez and Dustin Poirier, who is fighting this weekend in real life. And Gregor Gillespie, after getting knocked out, absolutely demolished by Kevin Lee, has wins over James Vick and then DeBronx Charles Oliveira. So pretty good winning streak for both of these fighters, and a win here will secure either of them a title shot in the near future. So now, what exactly is going to happen? We're going to see right now. Let's go ahead and check it out. UFC on ESPN, IAQUINTA versus Gillespie. Alright, big shout out to everyone here in the Twitch chat. As a reminder, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitch. Link will be down in the description below. You can catch the streams whenever I'm, playing this game or playing any other games. I know I uploaded a video of me playing Yakuza 0 the other day. Not very many views, but hey, I'm gonna give you guys content. Whether you watch it or not is up to you. First prelim fight of the afternoon. Kevin Trailblazer Holland taking on Carl Baby K Roberson. A couple of really good prospects in the middleweight division. I'm going to pick Kevin Holland here for this one. And he actually loses via unanimous decision to Carl Roberson. Now 7-2 in the UFC, and a nice 4-fight winning streak for him. Wins over Turman, Kopolov, Bradley Scott, and now Kevin Holland, who is ranked, and I imagine he's no longer going to be ranked after this. And he would like to fight Anthony Hernandez next. Up next, Miles Johns taking on JP Buys. I believe in the bantamweight division, yes. JP Buys from Johannesburg, South Africa, 9-2, taking on Johns, who is 10-1. And JP Buys gets the win via TKO in round number 3. Happy to win in his UFC debut. Verdum is in fact scheduled to fight Gustafsson. That is going to be a very interesting fight. I imagine Gustafsson takes that one. And I know Azatik, if he's watching this either on stream or on YouTube, I'm sure he's going to be very excited to see that. Up next, Jordan, the Beverly Hills Ninja, Wright taking on Duran Win. Of course, Duran Win, a training partner of Daniel Cormier's, Habib Nurmagomedov's. Signed Artem Lobov? No. He's a legend, but he's not coming to the UFC. Duran Win, he's a favorite here, 6-2. Taking on 29-year-old who is undefeated at 11-0-1, and does he have a fight? No, this is his debut fight in the UFC, and he gets the win via unanimous decision. I'd imagine Duran Win we are going to let go. He is now 1-3 in the UFC, and he celebrates winning his debut fight. Yeah, Jordan Wright definitely is a really good prospect. All right, now in the light heavyweight division, undefeated fighter Shamil Gamzatov taking on Timo Fuchs, however it's pronounced. I'm sure, who's my Fak? Aren't you German? How is that supposed to be pronounced? Anyways, 14-0 taking on 8-1. And Gamzatov stays undefeated via split decision. Now 15-0, 2-0 in the UFC. Good for Gamzatov. All right, Jessica Rose Clark taking on Miranda Danger Granger. Cool nickname. Clark is 9-6-1, taking on Granger, who is 7-1. And Miranda Granger takes it early in round number 1 via TKO. And she is now 2-1 in the UFC. Congratulations to Granger. And she's going to go party. Up next, Shockwave Hannah Cyphers taking on Nadia at 187 Kassem. Kassem is the girl who kind of faked a glove touch and then immediately went for a side kick and got dropped immediately. Hannah Cyphers has had quite a rough month. She's lost twice in that time span, sadly. Coming off a loss to Amanda Hebas. Kassem, huge underdog. But she gets the win in a fantastic fight, apparently, via TKO. Good for Nadia Kassem. You added some men's divisions. See, that's a good move because you can sign some prospects and send them down to Invicta. I want it to be strictly for the women because for the women, it needs, fine-tuning. The women need experience, so that's what Invicta's for. But as far as the men, I can just sign, male fighters that are really good at any given moment. So that's not as much of an issue for me. All right, 7-2 now is Nadia Kassem. 3-2 in the UFC after coming off a win over Justine Kish. Fantastic fight. Bye-bye, Hannah. Maybe. Andre the Bull Harrison taking on Patty the Batty Pimblett. Pimblett, 15-3. His debut fight here in the UFC. Andre Harrison in his home state of New York, 0-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Sergio Giglio. I mean, it looks like Patty might take this one here. And he does. Patty the Batty Pimblett wins via unanimous decision in round number 3. Lively, charismatic speaker Patty Pimblett is great as using these interviews to sell himself. All right, I'd imagine we might let Harrison go. Didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, just take it easy, I guess. Jared Flash Gordon taking on Jamie Malarkey. In the lightweight division, Malarkey won a fight, I know, on that Adesanya versus Whitaker card. And Jared Gordon, 16-4. 4-3 in the UFC, coming off a win over Matt Steamroller Frivola. And Jamie Malarkey gets a win via knockout in round number 3. Interesting. 14-3 now is Malarkey. 1-1 in the UFC after getting a win over Jay Herbert. So now nice little 2-fight winning streak for Malarkey. Is there a very popular fighter you wouldn't sign? No, I don't think so. I want Fedor at some point. All right, next up, Philip the Fresh Prince Rowe against Sergey Kandoshko. Kandoshko, heavy favorite at -240. 1-2 in the UFC, though. And he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He might be cut if he loses here. And Philip Rowe, his first fight here in the UFC. And Kandoshko gets the win via unanimous decision, essentially saving his job. Lyman Good, who we saw in action last weekend, taking on Dwight Grant. Grant 10-3 here. 2-2 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Ramazan Emiev. Lyman Good, 22-5-1, 4-2 in the UFC, coming off 2 straight wins over Rencontra and Peter Sabata. My guess is Lyman Good takes it here. Would you bring back Rampage? I sure would. Krokop is retired. He's been retired too. Lyman Good via TKO. 129 into round number 1. He gets the job done. Invites everyone to come party with him. And a couple of New York boys going at it there too, so very interesting fight. All right, ESPN main card. Nick the Carney Lentz taking on Groovy Lando Venata. Venata 4-4-2 in the UFC, coming off 2 straight wins over Yancy Medeiros and Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman. And Nick the Carney Lentz, number 24 in the lightweight division. And he's coming off a big win over Clay Guida. Lentz is the favorite here, and Lentz does get the win via unanimous decision. Will you sign C? What is C? All right, praises Venata for his toughness. Now, Kevin Lee taking on Mairbek Taisimov. Now, Kevin Lee has had quite an interesting little career. Low-level national still. He beat Islam Makhachev, so great fight for him. But then he lost to Dominic Cruz in his own division. So he's 2-2 in his last 4. So he's kind of not on the, yeah, you can see -2, not having the best momentum here. And a win over Taisimov would be really good for him. Taisimov having a good time, though, coming off a win over Jakar Close, and currently ranked number 17 in the lightweight division. Kevin Lee, maybe he gets a win here. And he doesn't. He gets TKO'd in round number 1. Wow. Kevin Lee His 8th loss of his career against Taisimov. 36 seconds is all it took. I mean, Taisimov lost to Carlos Diego Fajeda and Michel Prazeres. He's probably going to be top 15 now, Taisimov. Very good job on his part. All right, Moicano Carnero taking on Michael Johnson now in the lightweight division. Moicano, number 13, or number 5 featherweight in the world, apparently. 13 lightweight in the world. Number 10 lightweight in the UFC. He's coming off a loss to Beneil Dariush. Oh, I'm not going to cut Kevin Lee. Don't worry about that. Michael Johnson, he has 24 fights in the UFC. He's only won 13 of them. And he has a nice little winning streak going on, actually. Wins over Francisco Trinaldo and Islam Makhachev. Win over Carnero here would be a big deal for Michael Johnson. He is the underdog. Is Cruz still out? Yeah, Dominic Cruz is still around. Fordovsky says Moicano by decision. And it is Moicano, but he wins via TKO. 7 seconds left to go in round number 1. Gets the victory over Michael Johnson. And he would like to fight Dan Hooker next. All right, nice little call out. Up next, I think this is the co-main event. Not the co-main event, actually. Karate Hottie Michelle Watterson taking on Claudia Gadelha. Gadelha, a small favorite. Coming off a win over Felice Herrig and a loss to Carla Esparza. Meanwhile, Karate Hottie coming off a loss to Carla Esparza, but a win over Nina Ansaroff. Gadelha is the favorite in this matchup. I'm going to go ahead and pick Gadelha as well. And she does win via unanimous decision over Karate Hottie Watterson. And she's going to go to a party. Who wants to party with Claudia Gadelha? All right, Brad Tavares, co-main event time. Brad Tavares taking on Paulo Costa. Just to see what Tito is. Ortiz. I mean, Ortiz is retired. I can tell you that. He might be working for Bellator. I don't know. Brad Tavares versus Paulo Costa. Costa is favored in this matchup. Of course, coming off the loss to Adesanya in that middleweight title fight. One of our first pay-per-views that we did. Costa knockout round 1. Brad Tavares having himself a nice year. Getting wins over Kevin Holland and Kelvin Gastelum. And in my opinion, a win over Costa here might be worthy of a title shot. In my opinion. Marco Madsen. I'll check that afterwards. Just remind me. And how are you doing, Gus? So what do you guys have? Paulo Costa or Brad Tavares? Tavares wins. He basically gets a title shot. But this is a must win for Paulo Costa. To get back, into the win column. Get some momentum on his side. Let's see what happens. Yep. Who called it? Fordovsky called it. Paulo Costa defeats Brad Tavares via knockout in round number 1. Do I think Costa in real life is on something? Maybe, maybe not. He's just a beefed up boy. He drinks his energy drinks. He eats his acai berries, RBM was rooting for Brad. That's tough. He wants to fight Hermanson next. Interesting call out. Paulo Costa wants to fight Jack Hermanson. All right. Main event of the evening. Ragin Al Iaquinta taking on Gregor the Gift Gillespie. And a title eliminator for the lightweight division. Gillespie is favored. Minus 160 favorite here for Gregor Gillespie. Wins over James Vick and Charles Oliveira. Ragin Al Iaquinta wins over Hernandez and Poirier. One of these men is fighting for the lightweight title soon. Who's it going to be? Gregor wins TKO round number 2, says Fordovsky. Let's see. Referee is Mark Goddard. A hometown fight for the both of them, by the way. Immediately Gillespie shoots, and he gets a takedown. Tries to pass guard. Dirty boxing here. Both these guys are wrestlers, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Mark Goddard. Immediately again, Gillespie shooting for a takedown. Gus says Gillespie by submission. All right, round number 1 is done. Apparently, Gillespie won the round. Tommy Ford, how's it going, brother? Trying to transition in a full guard. Second round's basically halfway done with, and Gillespie's just been on top the whole time. Yeah, the whole wrestler on wrestler thing is kind of a weird dynamic. I mean, that's basically what happened with Usman versus Covington. Fans are kind of starting to crap on the fight. That's what happened with Usman versus Covington, and it was a banger of a fight. Greco-Roman slam for Gillespie. Wow. One of these guys is going to fight Connor or Tony in the near future. Looking to shoot. And then a kick to the body. IAQUINTA needs to get something going quick. Round 3 is done. And Gillespie might sweep this. IAQUINTA needs a finish. Standing them up. IAQUINTA starting to get a little tired. Yeah, for sure not. But it's the fight that had to be made, you know? They're both wrestlers, so it was always going to be kind of a boring fight. Styles make fights, you know? Khabib and Tony. Round 4 done, and Gillespie has won all 4 rounds, apparently. Unless it's a straight-up robbery or IAQUINTA. No, I mean, Gillespie gets another takedown. Everyone that's telling me, like, to check out people, keep reminding me, like, once, you know, the card is over and I'm back at the, like, main screen. Just because I will forget, you know. 5th round is basically done. And Gillespie's going to take this. And Gillespie's going to fight for the lightweight title. All right. Time runs out. So is the fight. Here comes my shitty Bruce Buffer impersonation. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest 50-45 for the winner. By unanimous decision, Gregor the Gift Gillespie. Fight rated as being decent, Gregor Gillespie is the #1 contender for the lightweight championship. Gives a show of respect to IAQUINTA. Good for Gillespie. That was UFC on ESPN, IAQUINTA versus Gillespie. 1,650 people in New York. Gate of over 406,000. That's not a bad gate for the people involved, although maybe Costa, Watterson, Johnson, they might be making a pretty penny. No popularity changes. Hopefully we made a profit. Alright, so where's that fantastic fight? The Kasem fight, fantastic. We're going to give that to them. And then performance bonuses. I'm thinking Miranda Granger. Paulo Costa. We'll give one to Tysimov. Yeah. Tysimov and Granger. Sounds good. Let's see if we made a profit. We did. Small profit. 56. Was that Sai also Bruffer? Sounds like this fight also posted. It probably did, to be honest. Who's the worst fighter you've ever seen live? I don't know. I mean, I've only been to two promotions, like fight cards, UFC and Bellator. So I'd imagine it's probably someone from the Bellator card that I went to. Because I mean, UFC fights, like, they're, high level. Like, even when people get destroyed, like, they're there for a reason. And if they get destroyed, it's because the other guy's just dominant. If you're talking about what's the worst fight I've ever seen live, I'm gonna say not the worst fight as far as like skill level, but as far as like being boring. Adesanya versus Romero. I was there live for that fight with my boy Will, and it was ridiculously boring. And especially coming after a Zhang versus Joanna, ridiculously boring. We just saw a banger of a fight, and then we're all hyped up and like, oh boy, Adesanya, let's go. And then the fight that we got was the fight that we got. So we're gonna go to the Woodley versus Edwards fight. That's a bummer. Hopefully they're able to get a card out there soon. We're going to go to the Woodley versus Edwards card, Fordovsky. Hope you guys are all doing good. It's about 5 p.m. my time. Hope you guys have been enjoying your Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, you had tickets. Was buzzing for it too. Fun card on. Yeah. Some people thought Romero won. I honestly kind of thought he might have won just because he was like the aggressor, kind of. But I guess the judges took into account, like, you have to be going after it if you want to win the title. You can't just, be aggressive, and because of that, you win the title. You know what I mean? And I was just shocked at how boring that fight was and how non-active Adesanya and Romero were. It was crazy. All right, we'll go ahead and update our rankings, take a look at our emails, and then we'll go ahead and finish off this episode. Thank you guys for watching. As always, don't be shy. Leave a comment down below. Leave something down in the chat if you ever visit on my Twitch stream. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Romero fight was so random. Romero has always been a counter fighter. Yeah, that's true. Romero's fighting against Uriah Hall. That just got announced like recently, actually. I'm surprised Romero's even taking fights anymore. Always relies on people advancing on him like Costa and Weidman did. That's very true. But I think, yeah, that's the thing. Adesanya kind of is a counter fighter too. Graduating from high school next year, and my parents said they would take me on a big trip. Really want to go to see a major UFC event. That's awesome, man. I really hope you're able to do that. Congratulations, by the way. Graduating high school is a big step. Oh, look at the first thing I see. The UFC signed Ronda Rousey. She is back. Would you look at that? We had to give her a pretty penny, but we got her back. Izzy is 6'4". Yeah, I don't know what to make of the whole matchup. It sucks for Uriah, but if Uriah wins, that's a big deal for him, Let's go and update our rankings. Oh, you guys actually couldn't see that. But look at this. UFC signed Ronda Rousey. She is back. All right, now that I'm done messing up, let's go and update our rankings. Nothing doing in the heavyweight division. Light heavyweight division, no movements. Middleweight division, Brad Tavares moves down to number 8. Paulo Costa only up to number 6. Krzysztof Jotko in at number 10, but he's on hiatus currently. Welterweight, there is no movement. At lightweight, Gregor Gillespie is our #1 contender. How long is he going to be out for? Only 13 days. Awesome. Now, would you guys rather Conor fight Gregor first or fight Tony? Gregor is technically the #1 contender, and he's available to be booked like the next month, which is good. Putting against Pennington. I think I sent Pennington down to Invicta. He's only high-level regional. Conor might not even want to fight him. Gregor versus Gregor. That's funny. Conor versus Tony. RBM says Gregor. Let's do this. If Conor will fight Gregor, we'll just do that fight. But if Conor refuses to fight Gillespie, Tony versus Gregor, no, because we want Conor to fight. We want the titles to be defended. Tony versus Gregor. Marco Madsen, sure. He is coming off a loss to Nad Narimani, but he has a fight booked against Chris Wade, who was most recently in PFL. So there you go. Mid-level regional in Europe, still kind of unpopular. Hopefully he can get a couple wins under his belt. I think Gregor is the way to go. All right. IAQUINTA moves down to #4. Moicano up to #6. Tysimov up to #11. Michael Johnson down to #18. Kevin Lee down to #19. Featherweight, there is no movements. Bantamweight, there is no movement. Flyweight, Candido debuts at #25. Check out Rama. Okay, Ponzinibbio. Santiago Ponzinibbio is currently scheduled to fight Vicente Luque on UFC on ABC Masvidal versus Edwards. That is going to be a banger. Coming off a win over Wonder Boy, but a loss against Covington. And then someone said Smiolinho Rama, right? He has yet to be booked. He is currently riding a 2-fight winning streak, but he has yet to be booked. Nothing at women's featherweights. Women's bantamweight, Ronda Rousey debuts at #10, interestingly enough. And I think a good comeback for her would be Juliana Pena. She's coming off a win over Holly Holm. She's low-level national. So a win over, Ronda would be a title shot for Pena. And then a win for Ronda would be a good thing, kind of a bounce back kind of thing. Aviv Ghazali. All right, let me go through the rest of the rankings. These two need to be sent, or actually just Raquel needs to be sent down. Women's flyweight, Rin Nakai debuts at 25. Jessica Rose Clark goes down. And women's strawweight, Claudia, #5. And Karate Hottie is #8. There you go. All right, so Aviv Ghazali. Aviv Ghazali is not in this save, apparently. CM Punk or Matt Hughes after his accident? Oh, now that's the question that needs answering. That's funny. I'd imagine still Matt Hughes, probably. Alright, everything's good here, it looks like. Ooh, Carrington Banks. He's kind of fallen on hard times, though, and he's coming off a loss. Yikes. Is Machida still active? Oh, that's because this is retired fighters, right? Never mind. Was it Aviv Ghazali? There we go. So he's 4-1 out of Israel, and his most recent fight was a loss to Ryan Quinn. Tension. Lyoto Machida is still active, coming off a win over Gegard Mousasi. I'm going to add him to the short list. King Mo. Mohamed Lawal is retired. Tension is 4-0, and he hasn't really had a fight recently. I'll add him to the short list, though. Sage. He's coming off another loss in 1. He has a fight booked, though. He's already in our short list. Vitor. He retired. Alright, let's go ahead and go through our emails now. Miranda Granger needs to be renewed. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Gamzatov needs to be renewed. Gary Tonin, I already have signed him. And I agree, he was a really good signing. Jiu-Jitsu Master. On Lansang. I tried to sign him, but he signed back with 1. 1 gave him like a really big offer, and I was like, you know what? He's not ranked worldwide. He's only popular in Asia. I'll let him just do his thing for now. No, unfortunately, Hoist Gracie is not active. Kandashko. Hannah Cyphers. 3-fight losing streak. We're probably going to send her down to Invicta, so we'll give her an Invicta contract. Kevin Holland. Ooh, 3 straight losses. What do I do with Kevin Holland? Should I release him and hope that he, does well elsewhere? Yeah, it's gonna have to. 3 straight losses, dog. Jessica Rose Clark. She's still ranked, so I'll still keep her around even though she's on a 3-fight losing streak. Paulo Costa, definitely need to re-sign him. Oh yeah, for sure. Saves are definitely different. Lyman Good, coming off a win. Nick Lentz, ranked and coming off a win. He didn't move up, though. Moicano coming off a win, needs to be renewed. Get him long term. All right, Rogers Sportsnet and Poleside. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I thank you guys for watching. The next time that I see you will be for UFC on ESPN, Dos Santos versus Gane. That is our first Japanese fight card. Main event, Junior Dos Santos versus Cyril Gane in the heavyweight division. Also, the UFC debut of Alexander Emelianenko. He takes on Todd Duffy. Dariush versus De Bronx Oliveira. Kunchenko versus Don Yun Kim. Glover Teixeira, Ryan Spann, and Calvin Kattar taking on the debuting Bibiano Fernandez. I'm AZPlow21. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, whatever else. I'll see you guys later. If you guys are watching the stream, stay tuned. Got a lot more coming. I'll see you guys later.